Hello everyone, just a few drivers out already, but we are now here and ready for the action in C1 tonight around the Circuit de Catalunya in Spain. And well, time to find out how the drivers are going to handle this, what is now a notoriously quite difficult circuit. Dotted some others, but we'll see some, definitely see some action. If we have a look at the championship standings just for a quick second, as some drivers are out on their flying laps. We have got a couple of reserves in Ridders, and I believe Benny Mac is also a reserve. So if we look at the championship standings, we do have Yari out in front, and the Williams of Brixton, who isn't actually here unfortunately right now, is in second place, but Tesla will be looking to pass him tonight. So Jordan Mason, who we might expect better from, he's down in 8th right now. Prinz, very disappointingly at the moment, down in 9th in his Aston Martin, which will be very surprising to him, I am sure. But let's get on with the action, as we've got plenty of drivers out on the track. And oh, we've already got a yellow. I think it's just a slow moving car. We'll find out in just a second as we see. Yeah, this just be a slow moving car, as Jordan Mason has no problem getting through there at all. Oh yeah, and of course the reminder that Maggot's out. Maggot's crashed in turn 3, and Keza out as well, and Yari and Keza have both have we got someone coming up to it? Yeah, we do. Yari and Keza have both crashed on the second straight. Well, coming out of the corner there, can happen, but both cars making either the same error or coming together. Shame that I missed that. Well, maybe not a shame for they two. They probably would be happy that I missed it. They also got like I said, Maggot out at turn 3 as well. Missed the end of Jordan's lap there, but it was a 16-1 and an invalidation by Prinz. In case, I've got to warn this one straight away, windows fully open, and so if there's any noise from outside, I will apologise in advance. But let's switch riddles. Times at the moment quite slow as compared to what I was actually expecting, but that may all change. Just going to now get the YouTube the live stream, sorry, up on my phone, and Ridders with a 16.5. Prince will have to go again. Yeah, Prince is the only one out there probably is just going to go for it here, or possibly just put it in the pits. There is a good chance that some will be. Oh, I think that was Ridders just getting out of the way. Actually, didn't need it, because I'm pretty sure Prince is going very slow. So let's see, anybody actually on a fast lap? Well, Ridders definitely not. Ivan maybe, for 10th up by the looks of that, but that might have been the last lap. He's been and done another, and it's just behind Jordan Mason. Now, who's going to be the first to set new lap? It'll probably be Nadim. So we started with 12 in this qualifying session. We're already down to 9. I did tell you that it's become a bit of a notorious killer for cars, particularly where both Keza and Yari went off. Just of course a reminder that Tesla should be in a Haas. There was a little bit of a problem with car selection just before the race, I believe. and that's how he's in a Mercedes, but he will be scoring points for Haas. I'll probably forget that at some point, but hopefully you won't. Now, here we go, Nadeem through turns 2, now 3, long corner, keep it on the track. Someone's wheels still there, that'll be Maggots. Turn 4, probably a possible overtaking point, still going to be quite difficult, even here turn 5 as well. Not just picking other overtaking points that could happen outside of, well, obviously invalidation there. Oh, and leaving the session for the Ferrari of I'm Too Fast For You. We'll switch to another driver. Oh, we caught a crash in his Benny Mac, and guess where it was? It's exactly it's the killer corner. It's right here, getting on the curb, but running wide even as well. Just too much throttle on and taking it right into the wall. It's just the lack of traction and grip that comes through there and makes it a very difficult corner indeed to get through, and it's caught out 3 of our drivers already. This will end up being survival of the fittest, I am almost sure of that. They're just pushing really hard in qualifying, but Tesla now in his Mercedes, even though it should be Haas, puts it on pole position at 15-2. Good time and well ahead of Jordan, who's done it on the softs. He's back out on softs and about to go for another lap, so we'll keep an eye on this. The Red Bull driver having a decent season so far. Championship leader after the first 2 races and 76 points is Yari, and he's going to have to start from 12th. That is not going to be good for him. It's not the best track for overtaking. There is points, easiest turn 1, and at the end of that, Andre Ivan just about getting out of the way of Jordan Mason. Sorry, and at the end of the straight, which we're coming up to, what is it, like, I think it's turn 10, if I've got that one right. So this will be the other braking point that could see some overtaking as well, in the race, that is. But right now we see what the drivers can do in quali, running wide in that final sector, and it's just an invalidation again. A lot of struggling with invalidations as we switch to what so far has been a disappointing season for Prince Killer. And I never really thought I'd be saying that. I thought he'd be right up there with our championship leader Yari and others, but no, Prince struggling so far. But hopefully this lap will turn things around as he goes through the killer corner so far, down the back straight, and Too Fast. Too Fast For You in the Ferrari is retired from the session this time, just in the pits, I think. Knowing that he's actually going to be in the top 10 with those mediums, maybe not the worst thing. Prince, on the other hand, wants to set a medium time and get as far up the grid as possible, and he's going to set a valid lap time this time, and he goes up into second position, a 1:15.7 for Prince. Still a good 4.5 tenths off of pole position though. Tesla just sitting in the pits. Oh, that's Jordan Mason off the track. Is this a slow lap maybe for Andre Ivan as well? Or has he got damage? He's got no front wing. What's happened there? He's definitely went off pro. We had a very good chance it's exactly where I think it is, around that corner at back. That's definitely slowed down on the straight, so that was the end of his flyer lap, I think, for the Mercedes. So let's watch And Nadim and the McLaren yet to set a time. You can see how, ooh, that looked a bit sketchy, but he got through it. Just off board. On board I would have been able to tell if it was actually sketchy. So what we have is 7 drivers that have set a time. And 5 of them out of this session. I don't think Too Fast For You actually crashed, mind you. At worst, he'll finish 8th in this qualifying session. So, oh, yellows. That's for slow-moving Mercedes, who is on a fast lap though, or should be, I think. Haven't they struggled with the turn in, a bit of lock up into the braking zone there, but coming around this final technical section of the track, the newest part of it, which is still really thumbly. I prefer the fast penultimate corner that you kind of just cut out with a chicane now, but whatever. DRS to the line, and Nadim, who has had a decent season in terms of qualifying anyway, a 15.7, just pipping Prince. I believe that the Merc is coming. He's taken my old corner actually, which yeah, that was stupid because that's going to invalidate. He's gone way past the pit entrance in that regard as well. Yeah, but he took my old corner, which, you know, I'll let him off. Because I was literally just talking about how I preferred that that when the track was like that. Anyway, Ridders, first sector, about equal with his first sector, I guess, from his previous lap. He's got some time to make up. He's not as quick, and he knows that, of course, as the usual C1 drivers that we have, but he's in it to give it a go, see what he can do against these drivers and have some fun. It's a 10th and a bit up now as well, and of course with it being a harder to overtake circuit, if he gets a decent qualifying, which he's bound to get with 5 already out, we'll see if he's able to hold up some people. Could end up quite interesting. Coming through the final corner now after the chicane, and to the line, DRS of course, actually nearly catching Andre Ivan and Jordan Mason, who are all in the pits. Everyone's in the pits except from Ridders at the moment. 4 minutes to go, and we've got a very quiet pit. Sorry, no, we've got a very noisy pit lane. What we have is a very quiet track. Just Ridders out there on a slow lap. Looking after the tyres, of course, a very good idea, of course, for Ridders, because the issue he's going to have is, let's see that, I think most have set them on mediums. Maybe not most, half have set them on mediums. Yes, the problem that all the drivers, especially on the softs, will have is that the softs don't really last very long. And if you can push them to last long, they will probably be slow towards the end. So it's all to do with the strategy that you wish to use. The mediums, that medium hard is probably still the best strategy available, and we will see the best drivers do it, or the top drivers, I think, doing that. We won't see Jordan Mason doing that, however, because he's already, his best is on softs, and he's about to try and set another lap time on the softs. We won't see Andre Ivan doing that either. What we will see is probably everyone that's out doing that. Too Fast For You definitely doing that, and possibly the top 3 whose best lap is on the mediums. But we'll see, they may decide to not. But Jordan out already just a little bit earlier to ensure he gets, well, I think in his mind, to ensure he gets the free air. He won't want to be doing 2 laps on these softs. He technically could but I don't think you would want to if you're going to be starting on them. So here we go. On board, flying lap, soft tyres of Spain. Let's see, running down the long pit straight, down to turn 1, best overtaking opportunity in the race conditions. Through turn 2, managing to keep control and not slipping up on the curbs. Surviving turn 3 as well, unlike Maggot earlier, and then braking into turn 4, getting a nice run through there to the edge of the circuit. Now turn 5, a bit of a finicky one as well, but get good exit, take as much exit as possible. Run down turn 6 through there, 7, 8. I might have missed one that counts as a corner but really isn't a corner, but there's a spin. Survives at least. Shouldn't have any damage, but that was another spin at what I actually believe is turn 9. Okay, that's, I think he'll be away with damage, but does he go again? That's the question. And what we do have is Prince coming up, Andre as well. Jordan just getting out the way for those that are on the route laps. I don't know if he'll go for it again. Nadim is retired in the pit. Yes, Nadim's going to be starting in the mediums then. Prince getting ready to start his lap. We've still got the yellows showing, but there you go. It's 30 seconds left of this session. Tesla is out as well. He's decided to retire. And Jordan Mason out as well. So it's only Prince and Andre Ivan trying to improve here. Prince going for a better position, possibly throwing the medium idea out of the window. A lot of crashes. Oh, running onto the grass is Prince, and that's an invalidation. So Prince will be in third. In a way, I don't think he'll be too bothered because he'll be starting on the mediums. Andre Ivan, he'll just want to improve his time. He's already going to be starting the softs anyway, so may as well get as far up the grid as possible. It's only Andre Ivan that can make any difference. Thanks for that camera angle game. Braking zone here, let's see, it's half a second up. He will jump Prince at this point. He'll even jump Nadim at this point on the softs. Can he make a push for the pole position lap? Let's see as Andre Ivan comes through the final couple of corners. This chicane, final corner run, still got a valid lap, taking us close without touching the curb. DRS to the line, and it's second place, pipping Nadim and Prince. But it's Tesla in the Haas/Mercedes, who will keep the pole position that he basically had since his first lap that he done. I think that was the only lap he done in the qualifying session. Andre Ivan shares that front row, pipping the team and Prince at the end. Prince running wide at the exit turn 4. Going into the grass, would have slowed him down anyway, but the invalidation didn't help his cause either. That's us. Andre Ivan sounding happy if you heard the noise. But yeah, well, 4 drivers not managing to set a lap time. Game's decided where they'll be. 9th for Maggot, 10th for Benny, Keza 11th, and our championship leader Yari in 12th. Have I got sorry, Too Fast for You 8th, and the actual Mercedes of Crush in 7th, Ritter's 6th, Jordan Mason start 5th, Prince starts 4th, which I believe is actually his best qualifying of the season, Nadim 3rd, Andre Ivan with a good soft lap in 2nd, and Tesla, well, that's a good pole position by 3.5 tenths on the mediums. And we are just about ready. So yes, so just about ready. No discussion about those quality incidents that I can see. I guess it's just as simple as the couple that we actually got on. Sorry, just as simple as the couple that we got on the stream, losing control. But that's fine. They're still in the race, and hopefully, for their sake, it won't happen in the race to them, and we get it clean. So, what our drivers decided they wanna do. No surprises. Everyone that didn't set the time on the softs is on the medium. Now, Ridders, Jordan Mason and Andre Ivan, of course, all qualified on the softs, so big disadvantage for them, really. But two-stop can work, especially if you get safety cars to work to your advantage. The other question is fuel, of course. Don't know if anyone's gone for an under fuel. There you go, there's your one stop for the mediums, and the expected two stop bit. Whoa! Was that Jordan Mason off? Yeah, Jordan Mason off on the formation lap. Clearly didn't actually touch anyone, or else he'd be disqualified along with the other, trying to retake his position in the line. Yeah, mini race going on. Because he's meant to be behind Prince. Just trying to retake his positions, which you can do, but you got to do it safely, and that will be restart. Yeah, that was, of course, Too Fast for You is going to be weaving to keep his tyres up. It is a formation lap. He's not necessarily expecting to see a car coming to his side. Of course, really. I think that's another touch there, no? But I think he's not expecting Jordan Mason to come through like that, but he's, of course, if didn't drop to the bottom of the field, is entitled to retake his position on the grid. Although you retake your position on the grid anyway in this game, it doesn't just force you to start from the back, so there's no real reason to do it. Honestly, I don't think anyone's going to say anything about it, but that's what happened. Jarek coming up to the back of the grid to start the race. Now, from this season, I never thought I'd be saying that, because he's had such a good season. Don't want to be on board with him, but the 5 lights are on, and they're off, and away we go at the front of this race. Let's see. Is it clean? A bit of moving in the middle of the pack to the back of the pack. Let's make sure it's all safe. Yari just keeps back off. It seems, so far, there's have I got Too Fast for You? Oh, a wide by Keza, and that's allowed. Oh no, it wasn't Keza, was it? It was someone else. Oh, Maggot. Maggot's been overtaken through turn 3 actually, and has dropped down to 12, but everyone's still in this, and it's actually been relatively safe. I'm looking at the Ferrari, so it's the wrong place. They're side by side through there, and I think as Benny Max went on his own, just losing the traction from what I could tell, and that, at least he's still in the race. That's good at least, but he's going to probably need a new front wing if he wasn't lucky, and he's off again. Yeah, he's going to need a new front wing for definite. Andre Ivan already losing pace to Tesla, and let's be honest, no offence to him, but he's probably holding back Nadim, but he needs to get past. In fact, we have got timing glitches, because that is not the case. Prince is behind Nadim. He's closing up to Andre Ivan, very much so, but very close at the back of this track. Is that a switchback attempt by Yari? It is a switchback attempt by Yari, and he's going to outbrake the Mercedes into turn 4, trying to switch back of his own as the Mercedes, but it's not going to work. And we're actually on lap 2, so ignore that. Benny is in the pits, but he's not leading the race. So here we go, right, already making his way through the field. So that's really good to see. Not sure the actual gaps. What I do know is Nadim and Prince very close to each other, but Prince gets past Nadim in the McLaren at the second of the straights. But let's not count the McLaren out. Prince not going to get DRS right now, as much as it says it's enabled. It isn't. It will be at the next lap. Is he going to have enough straight line speed though to get past? Not quite. But Keza, well, I didn't think Yari was going to be close enough to get that done, but he does, up to 7th place already. It's actually Benny who's really struggling. He must hate that corner, because that's the second time in 2 laps, yeah, or 3 laps I should say, that he's done something similar. Oh, this is really annoying, the backup that we've got here on the timing screens. But the battle we've got is for 2nd place, is that the Mercs starting to really edge it away. Prince coming down, now DRS is able to be used, and Prince a little bit late, but side by side still. Oh, they're still there, and a bit twitchy from Prince. Oh, and it's unfortunate for Andre Ivanen. It's caught him and they're out. I'm not sure if there was a rejoin or if it was just not paying attention to those yellow flags. But I can tell you now, we've got a full safety car and we've only got 10 drivers left. The championship leader will score 0 points in tonight's race. And of course Andre Ivan with a cracking qualifying, putting himself into 2nd place. He's done as well. I couldn't quite tell. I don't think there was contact. Although Prince's reaction in his car did get a bit twitchy, but I really don't think there was contact. I need to look at that again. For some reason, and I hope by mistake, the Mercedes has put on inters during the race. That obviously wouldn't be allowed to do that. So only one of the drivers that started on softs still on softs. I imagine. It's like he's struggling a bit, but I imagine he's going to be straight darting this inside the pits. Maggot has managed to make up. Yeah, there we go. Maggot has managed to make up tons of positions from where he started. Which is good for the Williams driver. He's actually had a better start than Yari before he crashed, although I don't actually, he might have been behind him at the time. Jordan Mason, however, not making up quite as much positions, although now in 7th, and obviously with the safety car going to back the field up, that could change things significantly. Because everybody will be back in it. I really hope that wasn't intentional. Not that it will matter, because he will not be taking mediums to the end of this race. Not without them going pop, that's for sure. Too fast for you. Obviously having a bit of a connection problem. He's out of the race at the moment, or at least out of the session. Hopefully he can rejoin. Hopefully not get any, I don't know what Maggot's saying, he cannot pass him. It's going to be a wee while before we actually get this race back from behind the safety car, because it's a good 22 seconds to both the Mercedes and Benny. I'm just sitting thinking it's absolutely incredible that two really fast drivers are out of this race. Andre Ivan might have been on the... there we go, too fast for you, has rejoined. Might have qualified in second place due to being on softs, but yeah, you still got to make it work, and he did. And Yari obviously back qualifying, making his way through the field very well for the first few laps, but now maybe sitting watching this, maybe too annoyed to be sitting watching this. But if you are, very bad luck. Thought everyone was going to get past, and unfortunately that didn't happen. Just got to wait now. No longer got the gaps, which is annoying. But Benny seems to be really slow for some reason. He's got to catch this up. The Mercedes in front of him has easily catched up, so I don't really know why he's managed to peel off the back of this. And also, I don't really know why he didn't pit for mediums, because everyone's going to do another stop anyway, and I think he'll need to too. No, actually, you say there's no Haas in the grid. This guy who's leading the race is meant to be in a Haas, so Haas is leading the race. From what I remember, anyway. It was something I read just before the race started. Is that he's now, oh no, I was meant to be in the Haas, because there were some issues in changing settings. He forgot. He didn't put his right car in once before the race started. But anyway, point being, the leader of the race is actually going to get points for Haas. If he finishes, of course, and there's no guaranteeing that, so we've already got two not going to finish, but he's got a good restart. Who hasn't? Prince and Nadim has got a good run. Keza has also not got a good start. Oh, what's happened there? Keza's losing time hand over fist, and that was almost really dangerous. Well, it wasn't almost really dangerous, it was extremely dangerous for others. There was definitely a Mazepin moment, but it wasn't Tesla on. So watching other kind of off board, so we've seen Keza go off track, maybe pushed by Too Fast For You, because they were definitely alongside into the wall. I could be wrong, so please don't nail that to the wall. So yeah, that was since there's no safety car or virtual safety car, we've just got to plough on and keep watching. But Keza's going to have to pit because he's been in the wall. Jordan Mason, unfortunately, involved in that too. I'm thinking that Too Fast For You's hit Keza the second time, definitely, because he's the one that's DNF'd. He's hit the back of him at least, or something. Maybe someone will come in. Showing Mazepin's future team, that's why he's in America. We'll see about that. But Kyle is also in here betting on a McLaren win. Nadim one of our really fast drivers actually. Behind Prince, who hasn't had a great start to the season, just in general. Deem actually had a really good run on him into off that safety car restart, but didn't quite get the Aston Martin. Tesla, of course, it says Mercedes, is Haas. In the lead, DRS should now be available for the drivers starting up at turn 9, turn 10 straight. And the team continues to chase Prince. Tesla just looking so quick out there. 6.5 tenths between them. It is our closest battle. Benny Mac will probably be a little bit chuffed to be in 7th, being a reserve. Ridder's 5th, again being a reserve. But yeah, there seems to be a little bit of action in the air. Spain really can be dull. Oh, okay, right, where's this yellow flag? Oh, that got close. It's a virtual safety car. I think it's Benny again. Off at the same corner. Has already been off, I think, at least 3 times at this point. Just hates that corner. I think Benny's C3, if I'm right. Ridder's, I'm pretty sure, is C3. So there we go. Pitting, yep, there's Prince, Nadim and Maggot all into the pits. Ooh, Tesla keeps going. I wonder if he's got a Delta still? So he doesn't, this could be a big mistake. They're all into the hards. No, he won't have a Delta because he's about to come up to the safety car. He won't be able to pit. Oh no, hold on. It's virtual safety car, I'm being an idiot. Oh, hold on, what's happened to Benny? Oh, come on. He's left it in the pit. In 7th place. Oh, Maggot's got a drive-through. Speeding under the safety car. That's a careless one. We've only got 8 left now that Benny's decided to chuck it in the pits. I know it's probably frustrating with all the spins he was having, but he guaranteed a top 10. Top 9 he was guaranteed if he just made it to the end. And definite points in C1. Points would still count to your name in C1, even as a reserve. So, yeah, that's yeah, I think that's a shame that he's decided to leave the race. Too fast for you. Yeah, I guess we'll do questions if you want. That safety car restart, it'd be interesting to see in the comments. I would relate to this to anyone watching it afterwards. A lot of drivers do choose to watch the races afterwards. What actually happened? Because you've seen the McLaren going off track, not sure if we got a tag or whatever, and then we see a big DNF. I thought it was actually both. I thought it was both of you, but it ended up just being you. That's too fast for you I'm speaking to at this point. Here we go. Ridders. Maybe too fast for you will answer at some point, but Ridders is being chased by the actual Mercedes driver. To be fair, for a race that started with 12 that has 8 at this point, it's probably had its fair share of action. Of course, me racing in C2 last night, I haven't actually seen C3. But here we go. DRS, but it's not going to be quite close enough to Ridders, who is having a really good race and holding up some real talent from the top division. Maggot into the pits. Jordan Mason and them really lost time. I don't know if Maggot's sustained damage. It only makes sense. Okay. Too fast for you, if we can get time in. Maggot dropping down. Opinion in chat. He says, in his opinion, the McLaren thought I wasn't there and turned a little bit into me. And that's, in his opinion, is what caused that whole incident at the restart. But of course, I'm sure we will hear more about that during the week. But thanks for getting back to me, because it gives us something to talk about whilst we see if Nadim can get past Prince. He was in a decent position earlier, and I really think Tesla's probably got this one. But remember, he actually needs to pit, whilst Prince and Nadim technically don't. And Berry's saying the reason why he chucked it was because he didn't want to ruin the race for us as he kept spinning in the turn. I think, okay, I guess that's a respectable decision. I personally would try and keep going, but I think respectable decision if you don't want to have people caught up in incidents that were nothing to do with them. And yes, he's definitely talking about turn 8. Just around here, I think it's like 4, possibly more times in the race that it happened. Although in qualifying, we've seen about 5 or 6 crashes at turn 9. So, yeah. Yeah, it's that area of the track does seem to catch quite a few people out. Prince and Nadim not having so much of a problem this time around. At least, well, in qualifying or the race, they seem to be fine. Others, oh, we're talking about, oh god, commentators curse. And now into the gravel trap. Nadim loses, that is such a small, and you would think insignificant error, but it's cost them 7-8 seconds. I like to chase that all the way back down to catch Prince up again. Well, that battle's gone, and I'm sure when the Demon watches that back and Prince watches that back, I'm gonna get a talking to. The old commentator's curse. So DRS, we can watch the battle for second. Ridders must be absolutely beside himself to be up in such a good position in C1. And you know what? He's keeping it on track. He's keeping the Mercedes behind him. It's well deserved. Tesla just keeps pulling away at the front, still to pit, which technically means Ridders will take the lead of this race. By the likes of it. Turn 11. Yeah, there's a lot. That's what I meant at the beginning. Turn 2 can catch people out. Turn 3 even caught someone out in qualifying. It was Maggot even. Turns 8, 9, 11. And of course the final chicane exit, as we've seen from Nadim there. There's a lot of places where you can make errors that will cost you so much time, or even put you in the wall and finish your race. Now with 8 left, let's hope that doesn't happen. But we are now, the only battle we've really got here is Riddles putting up an absolutely terrific defensive battle against the Mercedes, who we have been on board with for a lap, just looking at the gearbox of the AlphaTauri. Still having nothing to do and no chance of getting through. And it's definitely got a good setup on that car ahead as well, isn't it? Because not close enough in the straights by a long shot to get through. and the downforce is enough to make the gap, but maybe not this time. This time it looks like the Merc will have enough room, not getting a good, and he sails through actually, brakes pretty late for turn 1, but was well ahead and no chance for the Ridders to get through. I don't know, was that another commentary curse? I think it might have been, but at least this time he's still right behind him. Can he keep up with them? Because that would make a very interesting case for Ridders. Still in P3 and will get DRS. Yep, there's the DRS. He's absolutely fine on that one. Continuing on, this is a really good battle. Prince closing in on it ever so slightly. That's a couple of off-board shots really, because that makes it a little bit more interesting, I think. Maggot Cash and Jordan, so that might become a nice battle between those two. But Prince now starting to close in quite quickly. Still DRS now for Ridders. Now let's see what the straight line speed for Ridders is behind. He catches by about 2.5 tenths, so he'll need to get more slips and be a bit closer on the main straight to have a chance to get through. Reminder, it looks like a Mercedes 1-2. Isn't. Tesla should be in a Haas, so the points will be going to Haas. But yeah, we'll see if Ridders, he's actually doing, again, I'll say it again, he is doing a good job. We're halfway through, so hopefully that won't come to anything bad, me saying that. But just keeping it safe, keeping it close. So you see Kyle still betting on a McLaren win. I would say Tesla's winning by 19 seconds nearly, so that pit stop that he's going to make onto what I assume would be the hards. Personally, I think he's got it, but we'll see what happens. Nadim, yeah, Nadim, yeah, I don't think he's going to unfortunately feature for the win. I think he'll need a safety car rather than not get a safety car. Yeah, actually, reading your comment correctly, that is what you're saying. Jesus. But yeah, so yeah, I think the team will need a safety car for you betting for McLaren on this one. But yeah, it's right now looking like a foregone conclusion for Tesla. Almost a 20-second lead at the moment, but that's over the Mercedes driver and the AlphaTauri. Prince has stopped closing in. It's still 5 seconds. He's behind. Yes, so still 20 seconds ahead, still 5 seconds behind for Prince. So really the gap here, the battle here is really good going by Ridders, who has now got really close onto that. He's not going to need the brake, well he better brake, but yeah, oh, uh-oh, Tesla has left the session. Big alert, because we've got the leader having connection issues. So this is Ridders and the Mercedes driver have Crash's chance to get going and catch the gap. I mean, it doesn't seem fair, but that's league racing for you. When that sort of thing happens, if they've noticed that, they've got to try and make the time up together, and they can by just using each other's slipstream and DRS to just not get in each other's way, but just help each other out. That's what I would be trying to do. It might not be great for... Oh, and actually Tesla was coming into the pits on his actual strategy. So here we go, in the pits he comes. He'll go into hards for 13 laps. So it's quite obvious what Tesla, the actual driver, wanted to do. In my opinion, he was dragging those mediums out so he could probably go on to softs for the lateness in the race. But because he's disconnected, the AI's pitted and put him onto hards for less time than what he's done on mediums. He's still going to be in a good position, but Ridders now leads the race, and Prince is probably going to get past him as well. Yeah, there was issues. Definitely see two games crashing, but it was it was a bit different. I don't think that people could get back in. Hopefully Tesla can get back in. I did notice that Too Fast for You. Yeah, you did disconnect as well. Oh, that was much later braking on the Merc. Oh, and there's your first 3-second time penalty for Keza, who's been in the wars today, and it's a battle for the win. Wonder if these guys are going to try and drag mediums, or if their actual plan is to pit soon. As I say that, Ridders pits. He'll be looking for the undercut to extend his advantage, whilst the Mercedes behind. Oh yeah, there you go. And Prince now going to get past what I still think is AI from Tesla. I can't quite tell. We're on board, that's going to help. Yeah, it will still be AI. You need to try and really need to try and get back in. You're definitely still in with a chance. You have to be chasing after Prince, because it's now Prince, after having a horrible start to the season, is on a run. He can now win this race. Nadim, weirdly enough, in the Merc, not in the Merc, sorry, in the McLaren, actually now looking half decent. Definitely for a podium, possibly for the win as well. So maybe that bet that Kyle is having will or could be up. It definitely would have a better chance of being up if the team didn't have a spin at the final chicane early in the race, right behind Prince. That has definitely cost him time, and may in the end of this cost him the race. Now let's see, Tesla still having not got in and really needs to. If you are oh, there we go, I've just read it. NC1, he says his internet's cut off, and there is absolutely nothing he can do about that until it comes back on, and that is absolutely gutting. As we'll see, yeah, he's had a commanding lead. I had the same thing happen to me a few seasons ago, sitting pretty definitely with a good chance of a podium in Brazil, and pop, the internet went, and that was me. Did get back in, but already a lap down at that point, to be honest, because it's such a short circuit. And there comes the Mercedes into the pits. Now the question is, Ridders, how close will he be to Ridders coming out? Will the undercut work? Prince takes the lead of the race, which he'll be ecstatic about. It's softs for the Mercedes, so that's an interesting different strategy. I think Ridders will take back the place. He's got Jordan Mason right behind him though, and Maggot, so this could get really interesting. Gaps are much closer as the Mercedes slots out just ahead of the Red Bull. Jordan Mason on old mediums probably won't be able to get through on the Mercedes, who's had a great race. Redders, let's see his places on this. It's gaining time? No, he's actually doing not bad. That gap is not moving towards the Mercedes as of yet. What you do have is Jordan Mason getting that DRS to pull away from Maggot. Now, will he try and do another, what, 10, 11 laps on these mediums? Considering how many laps Tesla had done on them before as internet cut. Maybe he's got a chance to just drag them like he did, but it won't get him past the Mercedes in front. You wouldn't think, but look at that, look at the slipstream. Defensive slight move from the Mercedes, but there's nothing he can do to stop that Red Bull other than brake much later, try to hang it round, but can't quite manage it. And Jordan Mason with those old mediums just flies, well, he flies by the Mercedes, which I'll admit I really didn't think was going to happen. And that's not good for the Mercedes, because these softs will be good for about 5 or 6 laps. Low fuel at this point, they'll last a bit longer, but they will be slower later. Jordan Mason, of course, making basically throwing away what he just done by getting that 3-second penalty, which is a shame. Not sure how close people are, such as Crash, to a 3-second penalty of their own. Ridder's doing a great job, but Jordan Mason starting to make up that gap. This is Jordan Mason showing the speed he actually has. If he doesn't spin or get caught up in incidents, it just shows you what he could have done. So, Kyle, hope you're still here, because hey, McLaren could still win this race. Let's go back, as must have been a launch from quite far back for the Mercedes to get that done. Turn 3 going to be difficult. Putting the ERS on to have a go in turn 4, not going to happen for the Red Bull there. This is starting to get really interesting. Prince with a 3-second penalty. Nadim is now in a winning position. After his spin, you thought all hope was lost. He's made up 5 seconds from that spin to Prince, because he ended up a good 8 seconds behind. He's now within the 3 seconds margin that he now only needs, and continues to catch. Keep an eye on that gap, because it is extremely important. And of course, if there is going to be a move to at the front, I do want to catch it. But right now, we've actually got a really decent battle between Ridders, Crush, and Jordan Mason. Maggot not quite getting into that, but with Jordan there's a mistake from Jordan Mason. Maggot not quite into that, but he has got a penalty where Jordan Mason does, but Maggot decides to pit. So that takes him out of this equation altogether. These three are, of course, catching the car of Tesla, who would go down as a disconnection anyway. So we only have 7 drivers remaining. Keza also in the pits. This could play pivotal. This could be pivotal to the race, because who can get past Tesla quickly, because he's disconnected. His AI is still out there, of course. Looks like Ridders will get past quite easily. As a defending AI, of course, they've came together a little bit. It's a bit unfair, but that allows Crush to get through really easily. Ridders having to actually battle with AI. Not so easy for Jordan Mason, who's just going to launch it down here. The AI will break earlier, thankfully, and it usually makes it easier. Not for Ridders, crazily. Didn't make it easier for him. Jordan Mason has got a good slipstream, but unfortunately for him, so does the Mercedes in front. Got a good slipstream on Ritter's defensive move in turn 1, slows down the Mercedes enough for Jordan Mason to make an incredible move through turn 3, braking later into turn 4 and getting the move done for P4. Except from he's got that penalty. That's really going to cost them, or could cost them. Others might pick up penalties in the last remaining laps that we have. Jordan Mason just now chasing after Ritter's going to try and get past, but what a race the AlphaTauri's had. DRS, not much ERS, so he's not using it, he's saving it for the main straight. Definitely brakes earlier, does the AlphaTauri. That's okay as long as it's safe, and he remains in third. What a podium it will be for him. Jordan, oh, yellows. Who is that? I think Maggot was off. Okay, but we got to go back to this battle because I think we could see a pass for third place. Ritter's sitting duck really, and through goes Jordan Mason on 19 lap mediums. He is really good at saving those tyres, and clearly so would Tesla have been as well. I'm really gutted for him. I think he's basically lost the race due to internet. It's horrible to see that happening, but it has left us with this battle for the podium. So Jordan needs to make up a 3-second gap. Jordan needs to make up a 3-second gap to Ritter's and the Mercedes behind if he can. Prinz needs to make a good 6/10, half a second. He's actually gaining time, and he needs to gain it quickly on Nadim. Nadim just has to not make the same mistake he made earlier and spin, because really, if he didn't make that mistake, he'd be in the lead on merit right now, or at least have been battling with Prinz for the actual lead anyway, rather than taking it on penalties. So I'm sure he'd take it either way, so no worries there. But here we go. Not really close enough, these guys. Not helped by the fact that Jordan Mason's setup is clearly, from what I can tell, might be wrong, but it seems to be set up to give him straight line speed to defend and to overtake. But it won't help him. It certainly, in the slightest, will not help him pull the 3 seconds that he needs, as the cars behind him are definitely quicker in the final sector in particular, but in the other high downforce areas of the track, which is most of the track. Maggot set fastest lap. That's probably a reason why both Keza and Maggot went on to softs towards the end of this race. The Mercedes we have been on board with. Now this could make things interesting. Ritter's not within DRS anymore, so maybe my call there might be incorrect, or maybe Ritter's starting. No, he won't be struggling on those tyres. If anything, the Mercedes behind him should be, but he's not. DRS, gosh, Jordan Mason should be struggling on those, but he's doing an excellent job on those mediums. He's had them on for a very long time. So the Mercedes crash just waiting in the wings. They know that they've got, it's likely to be one of these drivers that gets that podium. It is likely to be either Ritter's or Crush in the Mercedes, because of the 3-second time penalty that Jordan Mason's got. But which one will it be? Those softs will be starting to kind of give out a little bit through the mediums. Oh, yellow flag. Let's see. It's Prinz. Prinz has went off. Oh, Prinz makes a mistake. That would be very uncharacteristic, especially where it was. He's not lost any front wing, and Nadim is taking the lead of the race. And Jordan Mason, not losing so much time. Basically lost 6 seconds, essentially 6-7 seconds. But before the chicane or anything like that, I think I don't think they came together. That's an interesting one. But out of ERS, unfortunately for Ridders, and that is going to let the Mercedes take in the third place. But will it be third place? Because actually, Jordan Mason is now 2 seconds ahead of these guys. And don't actually count out Ridders for this third place either. They're getting back past the Mercedes, because those softs are old considering how much you would expect the softs to do. So let's see if he can keep up and get another couple of chances. He will have a few more chances if he can hold the pace with the Mercedes. Very shocking for Prince having that lead. He may have lost it. Maybe he was pushing too much because he knew he had to make the gap of 3 seconds. But that's going to give the win to this race to the McLaren without a late safety car at this point. Of course, he could also have an incident, so let's not count anything out quite yet as well. So Ridders, no one's going to berate his driving today. It's been, well, I would suspect not anyway. It's been excellent, and it really looked like it could have been a podium. Looks like that might be disappearing now. Looking like fourth, depending on the penalty for Jordan Mason, how far ahead he managed to pull that gap. Right now, actually, if he doesn't quicken up a bit, it will actually be the 5th place. Which, yeah, after how long you've been in third might not feel great, but I'm sure you'll love it nonetheless. With 7 drivers, let's be clear, 7 drivers still left. Tesla will lose that because of the disconnection. I'm sure Maggot having a difficult one, so is Keza. Those at the front, but actually the 2 that lead this race have both had offs, but the speed that they have has made that pretty much irrelevant. A little slide through the final chicane, and Nadim started the final lap, and so is Ridders. He's not going to be close enough, and actually it's looking like he won't be close enough to take the 4th either from Jordan Mason. What we have to keep an eye on in terms of this is times. Also, of course, if Ridders can get one more chance, you just never know in these races. Final lap, keep an eye and see when the leader's coming to win this race. It's actually the McLaren Keza that's near the end of the lap, but we're on the final sector for Nadim, coming to win the race. The first 2 races of the season were won by Yari. If am I correct? Actually, I can't be correct because he's on 76 points. He's had 2 podiums anyway. And that's Prince off again. Yeah, he's definitely had an incident, but Nadim comes home to win the Spanish Grand Prix here in C1, and Prince comes home in 2nd. I could 10 seconds behind in the end, 2 late incidents, and Jordan Mason will come across in 3rd, but will he keep 3rd? It's gonna be close. He doesn't by about 300ths of a second, and Ridders comes behind, a second behind that, and finishes 5th. Tesla will not count for his finishing. It'll be Maggot. At least I believe that'll be what happens. It'll be Maggot that will take 7th on track, but I believe 6th in the standings, and Keza still got a good half last section to go, will finish 8th. I guess be happy with the points, but his teammate Nadim in the McLaren takes the win. Oh, it was Tesla at 1. Oh shit, sheesh, I should remember considering I commentated on both of them. Thanks, too fast for you. So yeah, but yes, so a good race by Crush, and good job by him. Winner Nadim, which makes it 3. Actually, there we go. A better statistic, really. 3 winners on 3 races, with Bahrain won by Yari, and Austria won by Tesla. Of course, it would have been Tesla, I think, in the end. It would have won this race if not for the disconnection and internet problems. But you just need to... That's what happens in this, and no one can take that one away from Nadim. Maga also with the fastest lap, putting on those softs at the end. Great race from Ridders. Yeah, he can be proud of that one. He can be very proud of that one. Yes, and Prince at last getting a good result. Not the best ending with two incidents, but having a good result. And I'm sure some talking going to be happening with the 3 at the bottom DNFs. I am sure. But that's where we... Well, I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and that it's almost time to wrap up. Yeah, sorry, almost time to wrap this one up, but just one final point to obviously make. Next week we have... Well, this track is actually difficulty overtaking. How difficult do you think Monaco is to overtake in? Well, we'll find out next week when the C1 drivers and the rest of the grid decide they are end up taking on the Monaco Grand Prix circuit for 39 laps. There you go. I think actually, let's be fair, it was Haas that won. That would have won, actually. Sorry, nearly forgetting. It was McLaren that won. So yeah, I hope to see you again next week and enjoy watching the Monaco Grand Prix here with C1 next Wednesday at 7 PM. And let's see who can win that race. Will it be another new winner, or will someone begin to really stamp their authority on this league? The championship leader not finishing the race, really bringing this championship even closer. So it will start to really get interesting, starting round 4 next week, and I hope to see you then.